This conference will now be recorded.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Len Petroselli. I'm Chairman of the Zoning Board of Appeals. And due to the coronavirus pandemic, we are conducting this meeting on GoToMeetings on Tuesday, July 7th, 2020. I will now call on the following elected members to speak up as present. Gavin Forrester.
Present.
Annette Streets.
Annette Streets, here.
Annette Streets, sorry, Annette Streets. Mary Young.
Present.
Lorenzo Elder.
Present.
And I also believe we have an alternate Ron Ticky present. Also here is Jay Abansky, our Planning and Zoning Administrator, Alex Floric, our Town Attorney, and Gail DeCilio, our Recording Secretary. Before I call the meeting to order, I want to remind everyone to raise their hand if they want to be recognized by the chair and wait to be recognized and called on each and every time throughout the meeting. Please identify yourself by your name and your title each time you speak. This is per Governor Lamont's executive order, which allows us to conduct virtual meetings. The public is free to listen, but may only speak at the invitation of the chair. I now will call this July 7th meeting of the Stratford Zoning Board of Appeals to order at 7:02 and ask Mr. Lorenzo to read our only petition tonight.
I'm sorry, I don't have it with me.
All right, Annette Streets, can you read it, please?
This is 245 Judith Terrace, the petition of Tiffany Trower seeking a site plan review and waiver of section 3.14 to construct an in-ground pool incidental to a single family dwelling in an RS1 zone.
Thank you. All right, Tiffany, I believe you're here. Just identify yourself and you can present your petition. Just unmute yourself. I see you're still muted.
Mr. Chairman, this is Jay Hibansky. It's showing that she's in the meeting, but potentially offline. She may have lost her connection.
Okay.
So maybe we'll give her just a moment to call back in.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, I'll see if I can get a hold of her as well.
Hi, I'm here. I'm not sure what happened with the Go meeting. It's telling me I have to start another session, but I can hear you guys.
Okay, well, you're all set. You were on, so if you'd like to present your petition, go ahead.
Can you guys see me still?
We can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay. Let me try to figure out what happened here. 1 second.
I just want to announce that Dave DeCilio has also arrived.
Judy Clary, too.
I don't have to say it now, Judy.
Tiffany, this is Jay Hibansky. As the organizer of the meeting here, it's looking like that are you on the road? You might not have enough bandwidth in order to give audio. I'm not too sure if you're hooked up to Wi-Fi.
No, I'm usually able to do Zoom meetings, so I do Go meetings from my job, and I'm always on the road. But I don't know what happened, but I can hear you guys fully.
All right, we can hear you too. So if you just want to go ahead and start with presenting your petition, we're listening. As long as we can hear you, we don't have to see you.
Okay, perfect. So I'm not sure where I'm just talking now about what I'm trying to do.
Yes, yeah. Just tell us what you're trying to do and what you believe your hardship is.
Okay, so I would like to put an in-ground pool in my backyard.
Okay, and what's the issue that you're before us because of the wet?
Because of the wetlands. So my property is basically built in the middle of the wetlands. So everywhere you go, I'm literally 50 feet away from the wetlands. So that's why I'm in front of you guys, trying to get approval to be able to put a pool in my backyard.
So your current situation, you're 23 feet from the wetlands, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Anyone, any questions or? Ms. Young?
Good evening, Tiffany. Mary
Good evening.
Young, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Thanks for joining us this evening. My question relates to comments offered by Jay Hibansky in his staff report dated June 17th, posted on the town's website. I wonder if you've had a chance to look at it.
Yes, I have. We will
Excellent.
definitely adhere. We would definitely adhere to all of the wetlands guidelines that they gave us with the permit. Definitely adhere to that. Regarding the shed, I'm working with Alan Shepard. He's our land surveyor to find out regarding the shed. The shed was there when we purchased the home, so we're working with him to figure out where we can move it to.
Tiffany, if you're done, I was going to ask you a question.
Yes.
In Jay's staff report, he references comments made by our town attorney, Alex Floric, who's with us this evening, where wetlands can be used as a rationale for granting a variance if it can be demonstrated that the wetlands on your property are exceptional or unique, distinguished from your neighbors. Could you highlight to us if you agree that your conditions are exceptional or unique, in what manner they are? Thank you.
Yes, our situation is unique, as we're the only house that is set back and deep into the woods. That there is a stream running behind our house and on the side of our house. The other houses are on the street level, and that's what makes ours exceptional and unique is because ours is set so far back off of the main road. It's set literally in the woods.
Mary Young again. Thank you for that. A couple more questions, if I may. The plan submitted to us by your engineer has note number 13 talking about the pool being 8 feet distant from the wetlands, yet Jay's staff report and the Conservation Commission or Inland Wetlands Commission talks about your proximity of your pool being 23 feet. Could you clarify the relief you need? How close to the wetlands is your swimming pool? Thank you.
There is a fingerling of trees that is close to that. It's in the middle of where the pool will be. It's literally 4 trees that is considered wetlands, and on the other side is not. John, are you on the call?
Yes, I am.
Can you help out with this?
Yep, I'm looking up the print right now. Hi, this is John Dubianski. I'm the pool contractor working with Tiffany and Alan Shepard. And I don't have the print in front of me that was issued by Alan Shepard, but I know I was working with Alan and gave him some sketches, and I'm just calling it up. We are about 25 feet from water's edge to the trees that you're talking about.
Thank you, Mary Young again. So if there is a discrepancy in the note 13 reference comparison to what you're describing, would you agree if this is approved as a condition of approval, note 13 would be modified if necessary to be consistent with the testimony being offered this evening? Thank you.
Yes.
And my last question, Mary Young speaking again. Thank you, Tiffany, for discussing the shed talked about in Jay Hibansky's report. Did I understand you to offer that you are offering to comply with the recommendation to relocate the shed to conform to the setback requirements? Thank you.
Yes, I'm working with the surveyor, Alan Shepard, to figure out where we can relocate the shed to.
Mr.
The
Chairman,
shed was
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Any other commissioners have any questions of Tiffany or John? One last time, any other commissioners, any questions? All right, with that said, I entertain a motion to close the public portion of the meeting.
Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I would suggest that if we would like to take, this is Jay Hibansky. Mr. Chairman, if you would like to poll if anyone is in favor or against this application, we don't have very many people on the call. It might be easy to manage that tonight.
That's fine. Before I do that, David, did you have a question?
I did, Mr. Chairman. Actually, more of a comment to Mary Young's question. I quickly pulled up the application, Ms. Young, and noticed that it is 23 feet from the closest wetland and 58 feet from the rear wetland. So the closest wetland is, according to the survey, based on the proposed pool location, 23 feet from a wetland. Just wanted to bring that up.
Okay,
Mary Young, for the record. Thank you, Mr. DeCilio. That was my understanding as well, but I think note 13 suggests something differently, which is why I was suggesting, and I think the applicant and her representative agreed, that the reference to being 8 feet distant from the wetlands is inaccurate and should be modified before they obtain the necessary permits. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other commissioners have any questions? Is there anyone here that wants to speak online that wants to speak in favor of this petition? Once again, does anyone want to speak in favor of this petition? Anyone opposed to this petition? Is anyone opposed to this petition? Hearing none, now I'll entertain a motion to end the public portion.
Mary Young, motion to close the public hearing portion of the meeting.
Thanks, Mary. Do I have a second? Second by Lorenzo Elder. Any discussion?
Yes, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, carried unanimously. I now declare the public portion closed. All right, now entertain a motion to go into the administrative session.
Mary Young, motion to take this item off the table and go into administrative session.
All right, motion by Mary Young. Second by Annette Streets. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Carried. We're now in the administrative session. What is your pleasure on this petition? Mary, you want to add?
Sure. I was persuaded that there is an exceptional and unique condition at 245 Judith Terrace with respect to the wetlands, necessitating relief to the zoning setback requirements. And I am grateful for the feedback Mr. Hibansky was able to give us from the Inland Wetlands Conservation Agency, telling us that they were satisfied and granted approval for the proximity between the pool and the wetlands. I would recommend and make a motion to grant the variance for the reasons stated, with the condition that the shed be relocated to a complying location as agreed to by the applicant, and that note 13 of the proposed conditions plan be modified to reflect the 23 plus or minus foot distance between the wetlands and the pool versus the 8-foot reference, which seems to be inaccurate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Do we have a second to the motion? Second by Annette Streets. Any further discussion on the motion? All right, I'll do a roll call vote, just understanding yes is an approval, no is not an approval. Mr. Lorenzo,
Yes.
Mr. Forrester,
Yes.
Ms. Streets,
Yes.
Ms. Young,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Petition is granted. All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from June 2nd, the administrative hearing meeting. Entertain a motion.
Mary Young, motion to approve.
Motion by Mary Young. Do I have a second? Second by Lorenzo Elder. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carried unanimously. CAM site plan review. Jay?
Nothing new, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Do we have any members' concerns, comments? We already had a comment about the meetings from Gail. Any other items? Jay, any other items?
Chairman,
Yes. Ms.
Mary Young, I may offer a comment.
Sure.
So perhaps it's more for Mr. Hibansky. When I was reading through the petition this evening, Mr. Hibansky, I was considering how such a circumstance is handled in Westport, where I spend my days. We have a zoning regulation provision that allows applicants to encroach into the zoning regulation wetland setbacks if the Conservation Commission has already approved such encroachment. Section 31-7 of the Westport zoning regulations. If I forward that to you, could you put it in front of the zoning commission for their consideration, as it may be something that the town would like to consider sparing applicants this evening and others?
I would be happy. Yes, Jay Hibansky here. I'd be happy to make that presentation. Any information that you want to send me, I have 3.17. Any background that you have would be helpful in me drafting a report, and I will present to the zoning commission at our next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mary, you can say something else, Mary, or no? All right, before we go for motion to adjourn, I'd just like to thank everyone for being here tonight, and I'm really impressed that all the alternates show up. So far, we've only needed them once, but keep showing up. We might need you again. All right, there is no August meeting, as you all know. Jay, you wanted to comment?
I just wanted to reiterate your thanks. We really appreciate everyone being here to back up our regular members in case we've got technical difficulties, because we've all had them. So thanks.
Thank you for all your hard work, Jay, putting this together. All right, what's
My
that?
pleasure.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to adjourn. Again, everybody stay safe. Motion to adjourn. Bye.
I make a motion, Lorenzo Elder, I make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Mary Young, I second.
Second by Mary Young. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Voted unanimously. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Stay safe.